Blake Lively's courtroom scandal just spiraled into full-blown chaos, and this time the judge wasn't just mad. He stormed out. No warning, no closing remarks, just slammed his gavel and walked out mid-hearing like the courtroom had caught fire. Why? Because a brand new victim just dropped bombshell receipts that threw the entire case off the rails. We're talking attempted murder allegations from 2 years ago. Yes, murder. Blake's picture-perfect reputation has officially gone from fairy tale to full-on horror movie. And don't think for one second this is some overhyped tabloid mess. This is the real drama unraveling inside a federal courtroom that now feels more like a psychological thriller with every passing day. The judge, he's done over it. The circus, the sideshows, the PR spin, it all became too much. What tipped him over the edge? One unexpected testimony that cracked open a hidden world no one was ready for. Because this wasn't just another trial day. This was the day a woman, someone the public had never even heard of, walked in and detonated every narrative Blake's team had spent months curating. No media tip-offs, no TMZ buzz. She wasn't even on the official witness list. She was dropped into the courtroom like a grenade, courtesy of Justin Baldoni's legal assassin Brian Ferdman. And when she took the stand, the temperature in that courtroom dropped fast. She used to work as Blake's personal manager, keyword used to, and under oath she laid it all out. Every scream, every insult, every attack. Yes, she said it. Blake physically attacked her. During one of Blake's infamous meltdowns, she hurled a crystal wine glass across the room, slashing the woman's shoulder so badly she needed 9 stitches. 9. And guess what? Not a single police report. But the part that really made the room freeze, the cover-up. Just hours after receiving medical attention, who shows up? None other than Blake's brother, Alex Lively, the so-called CEO of Blake's now-defunct lifestyle brand. What did he bring? An NDA wrapped in legal jargon, hidden behind the illusion of emergency health compensation. Basically, here's a fat check, sign this paper, disappear forever. That was the offer. Can you even imagine bleeding from your shoulder and being told your silence is worth 5 figures if you sign immediately? And how many people signed that paper before her? How many were paid to vanish before anyone dared to speak? The judge, who had sat through TikTok drama, influencer analytics, and endless PR games, had finally reached his boiling point. This wasn't a social media feud anymore. This was a system of fear, silence, and manipulation that had been brewing for years. And when the witness exposed it all, the illusion shattered. And if the structure of this trial is compromised, that judge walking out was the beginning of the end. Because guess what? Legal commentators are now whispering the most terrifying word in courtroom language: mistrial. If that happens, the entire thing resets. Lawyers might get disbarred. Victims may finally get to speak without being gagged. And Blake, her entire empire might come crashing down in ways her PR team can't even imagine. And yes, we said PR. Because it turns out, Blake's very own PR firm wasn't just spinning headlines, they were allegedly coordinating hush payments. Between 2018 and 2022, leaked documents now suggest 12 separate hush deals were made. Not exit packages, not performance settlements. These were full-on hush deals, victims silenced, complaints vanished, receipts erased. One email even referred to a woman's injury as a discomfort resignation. That's not PR. That's perjury with a spray tan. Let that sink in. The very team that used to gush about Blake's glowing parenting skills and DIY jam recipes were also ghostwriting documents to erase abuse allegations. You can't make this stuff up. But clearly, someone tried. And here's where it gets criminal. Some of these settlements, already shady, were reportedly categorized as medical reimbursements. That's right, hush money disguised as health expenses. If confirmed, this isn't just unethical, it's federal tax fraud. And the DOJ, they're already sniffing around. Sources close to the courtroom say a DOJ inquiry is officially in motion. And guess what? A second grand jury might be forming right now to investigate Blake's financial operations and corporate structure. You read that correctly. The woman who once graced magazine covers as Hollywood's golden girl may soon be staring down a federal investigation into financial fraud and corporate cover-ups. And the fallout? Oh honey, it's already started. So what do you do when your courtroom confidence crumbles in real time? You panic, you scramble, you try to erase the evidence before anyone sees it, and that's exactly what Team Lively did. The moment that ex-manager testified, the mood in Blake's corner shifted from smug superiority to pure panic. Attorneys who once smiled smugly for the press were suddenly whispering, darting in and out of side rooms and giving each other looks that screamed, "We're cooked." One junior associate was even spotted frantically walk out mid-trial. Who was? Yeah, it was that bad. But the biggest sign of desperation, a leaked internal email that read, "Brace yourself. Make sure the NDA doesn't link to Alex's side business." What? In the middle of a courtroom meltdown, someone on Blake's team was literally trying to scrub evidence. This wasn't just about cleaning up a mistake. This was a strategic attempt to disassociate Alex Lively, Blake's brother and co-conspirator, from the very document the witness just testified about. That email is now evidence. It's been submitted to the court, and it's bad, like really bad. And now he's winning, and here's where it gets even wilder. Multiple sources confirm that Baldoni's legal team had been holding back for months, waiting, biding time, letting Blake's side underestimate them. And then, in one cold move, they flipped the board. That surprise witness wasn't a trick. She was a truth bomb. And now that bomb has revealed years of manipulation, illegal settlements, and behind the scenes bullying. And here's the kicker. Blake's team can't stop the bleeding. Every time they try to plug one hole, 3 more open. Because this isn't just a courtroom anymore, it's a crash site. And Justin Baldoni, he's the one standing in the middle of the wreckage with the receipts. Meanwhile, Blake, she's dangling over the edge of a legacy cliff, and her PR safety net just got shredded. And let's talk about that legacy for a second. For years, Blake Lively was untouchable. America's golden girl, the queen of lifestyle branding, the face of effortless chic. But now, the world isn't buying the aesthetic anymore. Because what she really built wasn't a dream. It was a fortress of fear. Behind every handmade jam jar and boho linen napkin was a team of terrified employees, whispering behind closed doors, terrified to speak out. That's not a business, that's a trap. And as federal subpoenas rain down and financial investigations ramp up, it's clear, Blake didn't just lose control of her brand, she handed it to Baldoni on a silver platter. He's going to rebuild what she tried to destroy. Public opinion is shifting. Executives are talking. Streaming platforms that once backed out of Baldoni's deals are now quietly reaching back out. Why? Because the real villain of this trial has been unmasked. And she's sitting in designer heels, ducking behind her lawyer, while emails, witness testimonies, and sealed court documents peel back the polished image. This is no longer about if Blake Lively will lose, it's about how much. Because at this point, her brand isn't just bleeding, it's hemorrhaging. So what happens when the Department of Justice catches the scent of a cover-up? Oh baby, they pounce. And that's exactly what's happening now. And let's not forget the final fatal blow. Digital forensics. Yep. The court's IT team is now combing through digital logs from Blake's legal cloud accounts. And guess what? They've already flagged attempted deletions of several files tied to employee complaints. They have IP addresses, they have timestamps, they know who tried to delete what and when. Spoiler alert, it wasn't an intern. This is no longer about whether Blake Lively broke the law. This is about how many people she took down with her in the process. And now we're here, the last act. The glitter is gone. The cameras aren't kind. And the empire Blake Lively built, one pastel photo shoot, one smug press tour, and one silenced employee at a time, is crumbling faster than anyone could have imagined. After weeks of courtroom chaos, sealed testimony bombs, forensic file recovery, and a judge literally storming out, Hollywood is officially on high alert. Whispers are becoming warnings. Executives are pulling out of deals. Endorsements are going dark. Former collaborators suddenly unavailable for comment. Because no one wants to go down with the ship, and Blake's ship is on fire. Remember the sanitized Pinterest dream Blake sold to the world? The jam jars, linen aprons, homemade candles, and handwritten notes about living intentionally? All of that was just a smokescreen, a soft focus lie to mask a cutthroat empire built on NDAs, coercion, and legal intimidation. And now, the very system she weaponized is turning against her. Let's talk numbers. The DOJ investigation is ramping up. The IRS is in. The court has handed over sealed testimony to federal ethics boards. Blake's finances are under a microscope. Her brother Alex could be indicted. And the phrase wire fraud is now officially part of her legal vocabulary. But here's the twist that no one expected. Justin Baldoni is winning by doing nothing. After the witness took the stand, Baldoni didn't even flinch. His team didn't panic, they smiled. because they had planned this entire ambush. Blake's team thought they were prepping for PR damage control. Meanwhile, Baldoni's team was preparing for total legal destruction. His $400 million zero-cents countersuit, once called aggressive and unrealistic, it's now seen as legitimate and strategic. Investors are backing it. Streaming platforms that dropped him are asking to return. His projects are being resuscitated. Why? Because the narrative has changed. Blake Lively is no longer the victim of a defamation plot. She's the architect of abuse, the mastermind of a legal labyrinth built to protect herself and silence others. And the world is finally watching her fall. Now, Blake's legal team is trying everything, claiming procedural mishaps, requesting delays, begging for settlement talks, but the court isn't budging. You don't get to cry foul after being caught deleting files and paying off injuries with disguised hush funds. And then came the moment that felt like a death knell for her brand. A leaked internal Slack message, Slack, revealed a paralegal writing, "We're officially F. Tell Alex to run." That message is now in evidence, and it's the purest, rawest reflection of what's happening behind the scenes. No more curated calm, no more framed wellness quotes, no more grateful heart hashtags. Just fear, chaos, and the unavoidable reality that Blake's team is watching everything fall apart, and they can't stop it. And it's not just the legal team spiraling. Multiple sponsors and partners have begun quietly pulling back. A fragrance deal slated to drop next month? Shelved indefinitely. A major publishing house negotiating a cookbook? Gone. A streaming service that was prepping a docuseries about Blake's life as a working mom? Ghosted her. Because no one wants to be the next headline in the house of cards she built. And the scariest part, it's not over, because the court hasn't even begun unpacking the full sealed testimony. More subpoenas are pending, another surprise witness is rumored to be waiting, and Blake's brother, he's allegedly negotiating a separate legal deal to protect himself, which might include turning on her. Yes, you read that right. Her own brother could flip to save himself, because once the feds come knocking, loyalty becomes a liability. Now, as Blake retreats behind closed doors, her entire team is in bunker mode. Lawyers prepping for federal interrogation, accountants scrubbing files they should have deleted months ago, PR reps begging former allies to stay quiet, but it's too late. The machine that protected Blake Lively for a decade has imploded. The curtain has been pulled back, and the audience, they're not clapping. They're stunned. So now we ask the question Blake never thought she'd have to face. What happens when the truth is louder than your brand? Can you rebrand your way out of sealed testimony? Can you influencer your way out of federal wire fraud? Can you charm your way past a judge who walked out of your trial in disgust? The answer? No. Because when the truth finally claws its way through years of NDAs, staged interviews, and weaponized PR, it doesn't need glitter to shine. Blake Lively is no longer Hollywood's golden girl. She's the case study, the cautionary tale, the headline. And as the final subpoenas fly, the legacy she tried to sculpt with perfect lighting and lavender-scented calm has shattered. All it took was one witness, one wine glass, and one judge slamming the gavel and walking away from the performance of a lifetime. The era of curated silence is over. And Blake Lively, she's not in control anymore.